Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hi everyone. For this presentation, we are from Group 7. We will present about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic to the organization and the changes made to move forward in 2021 for the Golden Screen Cinema Sdn Bhd or well known as GSC company. Our group members are: first, Muhammad Zubair bin Ahmad Muhammad ZAILANI; second, AMIRUL Aiman AIKAL bin JAFRI; third, MUHAMAD NURFAHMI bin AIDI; fourth, DAMIA binti AZHAR; fifth, HUSNA bin AZMAWI; and lastly myself, NURAIN binti MUKHTAR.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. Firstly, I introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Zubair bin Ahmad alias Muhammad ZAILANI. I shall introduce to you to the Golden Screen Cinema. Golden Screen Cinema is a leading cinema exhibitor in Malaysia. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of PBB Groups. Operate more than 600 screens in Malaysia and Vietnam. So deliver cinematic luxury and innovation that deliver convenience is much more than a movie. JSC is the largest independent distributor of Chinese, English and Malay language film in Malaysia. Its main activity is in execution and distribution of movie of all language for cinematic, home and on-the-go entertainment. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is AMIN. So, what is planning? Planning is the most basic managerial job, and it entails choosing ahead of time what need to be done, when it need to be done, how it should be done, and who will do it. There are 3 steps involved in planning. First, deciding which goals the organization will pursue. Second, deciding what strategies to adopt to attain those goals. And third, deciding how to allocate organizational resources to pursue the strategies that attain those goals. So, how planning was applied? Koh Mei Lee, as CEO of GSC, had made some plans to ensure the business does not collapse despite facing the COVID-19 pandemic. GSC CEO Koh Mei Lee said that this is the perfect time to change things up so the company can connect with fans even when they are at home. So here are some of GSC planning. First, put all of their efforts into making their safety procedures better so that their customer can stay healthy and always be safe. Second, GSC had already cleaned and disinfected a lot of the places people go, and they had hand sanitizer for people to use at checkpoints, ticketing desks, and concessions. Third, GSC will do other things like check the temperature of all guests and moviegoers before they go to the theaters. Fourth, people will be separated from each other in social distancing seats at movie theaters, and the seats will be clean between movies. And the last thing is, they even try new things like renting private rooms for movies and games, e-commerce branded goods, live performance, and dining at restaurants and bars.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is NURAIN binti MUKHTAR and I will present for the organizing part. First of all, organizing is one of the process of establishing work connection between members in an organization to make sure they interact and collaborate each other in attaining objective of an organization. Then, the employees are divided into departments based on the type of professional duties they undertake. The consequence of organizing is the creation of an organizational structure, which is a formal system that coordinate and influence all of the staff to achieve organizational goals. For your information, manager is most important role to decide the best way to an organization. As we all know, in the beginning of 2020, we will experience the spread of a new virus known as COVID-19. It brings a variety of negative implications to all sectors in Malaysia and also poses new challenges to each organization and leads to various changes, especially to the organizing part. Golden Screen Cinema, GSC, Sdn Bhd, is one of the cinema industry that was affected with this pandemic. This company had to close down for several months and suffered loss of up to RM500 million. So, they implement various changes to the organization of this company. GSC engaged into an agreement with the previous operators of the MBO cinema in February 2021 and they hope this deal will help them. They also minimize their operating costs and more focus their investment on the necessities. GSC company also gave some training and work from home to their employees as preparation when GSC reopened as usual. They more focused on the condition and fate of their employees, and they did not reduce the payment of salary to the full-time employees. GSC company also adjust their routine operation by minimize the number of staff and undertake new method of reopening by starting with limited movie shows and limited business hours to make sure their staff in good health. GSC CEO said that they will never plan to close or cease operation for any branch, and they will keep thinking and looking forward with this pandemic COVID-19.
Next, let's talk about leading. What is leading? In leading, managers articulate a clear organizational vision for the organization's member to accomplish. The managers must also energize and enable employees so that everyone understands the part he or she plays in achieving organizational goals. Not to forget, leadership is closely related to leading as it involves managers using their power, personality, influence, persuasions, and communication skill to coordinate people and groups so they can work in harmony. So how leading was applied during COVID-19 in GSC? As we all know, the pandemic COVID-19 is such a chaos. Several industries have been impacted by the pandemic, including film business. According to Kok Mei Lee, the CEO of Golden Screen Cinemas, the local movie sector is in danger. Cinemas, which are classified as freeze-closed, last open organizations, have been forced to sell items and snacks to stay above water. They also had the difficult choice to lay off up to 20,000 people in order to stay afloat while waiting for the government's approval to reopen. It's not an easy decision, but having a lot of employees without a stable financial is not good either for the company. The decision was made by the management not to take any further risk. Following the news of the reopening on September 16, 2021, the management decided to follow the government's SOP in order to preserve the safety and health of its employees. The necessity to wear a face mask, social distance with 1 meter space, and the demand for clients to prove confirmations of vaccinations via the MySejahtera apps are the example of standard operating procedure that being applied by the management. The important part is that all GSC staff must also be properly vaccinated and pass the COVID-19 screening test. These activities demonstrate that GSC's senior management is properly using their authority to ensure the welfare and safety of the employees under their control. Even in the middle of this pandemic, leading approaches are being effectively implemented in accordance with the current condition. Let's talk about the next part, which is controlling.
My name is Muhammad NURFAHMI bin AMIN. I'm going to present about the controlling. Controlling is the process of evaluating changes to ensure that all organizational goals are achieved. To maintain or improve organizational performance, manager must be able to decide how to respond to specific situation. GSC controlling management is to become a well-known movie theater operator for providing high-quality film entertainment and to provide customer with the most immersive audio-visual experience possible. Nowadays, the majority of film industry is currently affected by COVID-19 pandemic, which has forced the industry to a temporary close. The Malaysian Film Exhibitor Association also in charge of granting permission to reopen the cinema. GSC has made physical improvement such as new air conditioning and ventilation application in cinema to ensure that movie watching activities remain enjoyable and safe. All the customers are required to follow the established rule governing social distancing, seating arrangement, and the wearing of masks has been performed in cinema. GSC also reduced the number of people in hall by at least half. GSC had increased the frequency of cleaning and disinfection for heavily used facilities. GSC will continue to implement this measure to ensure that all employees are in the best possible health to serve customers, and that all established SOPs are followed by all customers, ensuring the safety of both parties.
We move to the next part, which is conclusion. COVID-19 started affecting the movie industry in January and it's expected to continue affecting the industry until 2020. Starting from November, PPB Group cinema properties will be temporarily closed. This includes Golden Screen Cinema. For GSC CEO Kong Mei Lee, this is the ideal time to shake things up for the company to engage with its fans. This company had to close down for several months to disconnect the virus network and suffered losses of up to Rm 500 million. GSC then engaged in an agreement with the previous operators of the MBO cinema in February 2021, and they believe that this agreement would hasten their rehabilitation once the operational climate stabilizes. In addition, GSC intends to minimize the number of staff as an approach to caution and undertake new methods of reopening by starting with limited movies and limited business hours. Golden Screen Cinemas being one of the most hit industries during the pandemic, which had been a difficult choice either to lay off up to 20,000 people or let them stay afloat while waiting for the government's approval to reopen. GSC Control Management wants the company to become a well-known movie theatre operator for offering high-quality film entertainment as well as to give customers the most immersive audiovisual experience possible. Lastly, GSC also will continue to make sure that all the employees are in the possible health to serve customers and that all the established SOPs are followed by all the customers, ensuring both parties' safety. And the last part, which is recommendations. GSC is the largest cinema exhibitor in Malaysia, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of the PPB Group. The most challenging part of the company after the reopening is figuring out how to liven up their cinemas while maintaining the SOPs that have been set by the government. One of the steps they should take is to encourage more customers to buy tickets online in order to avoid congestion when buying tickets at the kiosk. This can make the entrance of the hall become smoother. Other than that, the company is also supposed to organize a drive-in cinema, which is a form of cinema structure consisting of a large outdoor movie screen, a projection booth, a concession stand, and a large parking area for automobiles. Within this area, people can watch movies in their own cars, and at the same time, they can avoid crowded places and keep themselves safe from being infected by the virus. In a nutshell, these are some recommendations that can be applied by the GSC company to improve their service in the future. That's all from me. Thank you.